Hello you guys, and welcome back to the next video in the Katie's World Anne of Green Gables series. And today we are moving into summer. So we've done our spring little tidbits here and there, and the next phase is we're going into summer, which we are currently in. So I mean, especially if you're in this part of the world, we're definitely feeling the heat. So I looked up a couple things before I hopped on the video. One, I read about what Anne's summers would have been like, what basically summer was during on Prince Edward Island. And so this was like the favoriteest time of the year because, of course, being so up north, it gets very cold in the winter. And she so summer, they said if you asked if you went up to Prince Edward Island and you asked what is your favorite time of the year, they would have picked summertime. And oh, here we go. I was like flipping to the wrong part. But it says Anne's favorite summer flowers were roses. So I thought, okay, we could do something with roses. She arrived at Green Gables in June when the wild roses lining the lane to the house were just about to bloom. In fact, she noticed the first rose of summer on the first morning as she and Marilla were driving down the lane on their way to White Sands. So, and then years later, Marilla set a pot of miniature roses on Anne's windowsill to welcome her home from her year at Queen's. And so I thought that was really sweet. And she also carried an armful of late summer white roses at her wedding. So roses it is. And I figured like Prince Edward Island was a time, of course it was, turn of the century. So during the time that Anne was written, so, they didn't wear swimsuits and whatnot. You know what I mean? So a couple of things. I love this rose paper. I have this pack of paper that I bought at a scrapbook expo that I went to during the springtime, and so I figured this was a good time to break into it. And I've had this paper before. In fact, I've done a kit using this paper many moons ago. I was really looking at this one here. So I thought it would be fun to create a page using this paper. But where was I on the subject line of, so my thought process is still, this is a book about your world, Katie's world, being your imaginary world. So what would you see your summer being, or what would you imagine your summer being, like the best summer ever, right? And so I thought it would be fun to also incorporate that with the roses, because here in Central Texas, we're hot. It is like, very, very hot. It's hot, it's humid, at least where I'm at. And it's actually not horribly humid today, but you never know from day to day whether you're going to be outside and very hot and very sweaty. And I can't find my cutting scissors. I cleaned my desk off, and see, then you can't find anything when you clean your desk off. So yeah, so it's I figured I would incorporate not only our summer here, but also incorporate, this is funny. Oh my goodness, this is perfect. Okay. See, it was sitting over here and it was meant my eyes directed straight to it, but this is a insert from, this is a sticker I received in a Happy Mail, and it's actually one of my favorite artists, which is Anne Arthur's, which is Susan Branch. And so I'm going to put this in my journal because it's something that I want to hoard. I don't want to use ever, right? And so this is kind of a journal for that. I'm going to grab a pair of scissors over here. So yeah, so this journal is that would be the perfect spot for that, to include that in my journal. But so I remember I did a page similar like this, and I was actually inspired by Susan Branch to do a similar page like this. It's a printable, and it's going to be on my blog with this video post. So if you're interested in having a copy of it, I'm going to actually be cutting out some of the things and putting them on my summer insert page here. Let's get our space cleared out. I am going to use the stickers that came in this pack. And, so yeah, so we're going to, so I know, like I said, that you wouldn't wear swimsuits in the 1800s, you know, but I figured Anne's World would include ice cream, definitely. Definitely books, probably creating some ice cold drinks. I imagine her sitting on the porch with Marilla and Matthew. And so, and playing with Diane, picking flowers and putting flowers in each other's hair and walking along the beach, which I have these also for my Happy Mail. So I want to include those. So yeah, that's kind of what I envisioned. And to be perfectly honest, I also pulled these stickers out, but that's not what I was being perfectly honest about. But to be perfectly honest, that's kind of like how I envision a summer being. Amazing. You know, it's just not the heat, you know, that we endure here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and punch my holes so I know where my holes are going to go in my journal page. So how are you guys doing? Are y'all enjoying yourselves? I did know that do not feel stressed or overwhelmed if you have not even started yet. You know, these videos are going to be up for a while, and do what you can, you know. And so I did a poll. I want to make this a little tab here as well. I think I might come back and do the tab. But I did a little poll when I was planning out this journal class, this journal camp, about if you guys wanted to do it over the weekend or over a period of a month, and the month ruled by far. So again, keep in mind that, you know, these can be, you can do what you can, but just have fun, enjoy yourselves. Do not stress yourselves out about this journal class, you know, about getting your journal caught up and everything. Just play, and even if you just fill it full of stuff, just do that, you know. That's the fun part. But we did make homemade ice cream Christmas Eve. Do I have Christmas on the brain? Possibly. But we did do homemade ice cream on, what day was it? Oh, now I'm saying New Year's Eve, you guys. Where am I? We did do, on 4th of July, and it was fun. So, funny story, and I might have already mentioned this, and if I have, I apologize. But, so, I had my parents' ice cream maker, and they had bought the crank kind, because they wanted old-fashioned ice cream, you know. And so, they had bought this crank one. Well, I've had it, I kid you not, for years. And it was actually up in our attic at our old house. And this house, it was in the, in the garage. So, let me use this. And, so anyway, yeah, long story short, I brought it back to my parents, and then I just got it back from them. I think I do remember mentioning this already to you guys, but yeah, so that's kind of, that's just kind of how I roll, you know. It's like I don't use it for 10 years, and then all of a sudden I give it away and I need it, you know. Who else does that kind of stuff? I know that it's funny, like, even with me cleaning out my journaling supplies, I am like, okay, I haven't used this in forever. I'm just gonna, like, get rid of it. I'm not gonna think about it. And then before you know it, I'm like, have a project that I was like, oh, this would be perfect for that project. Just how it goes sometimes. So, okay. So let me see how I'm gonna make this, put all this together to where it flows. And I've already lost my summer days. Here we go. So summer days, I want to include these on there. I'd like to include some of these stickers. Oh, and then, of course, I need to include my shell. I know, speaking, I made that page, oh gosh, I think it was like 2 years ago. I think it was before COVID. I don't remember now, but I was at my sister's, and I remember floating, because she lives by the lake, And now the lake is like completely dried, you guys. It's really, it's like, of course, it'll make a comeback. It will. That's the thing with what I've experienced, and we hope that it does. But unfortunately, when it does make its comeback, it usually involves a lot of flooding. So, which I know people up north U.S. are getting tons. I've been hearing all about the rain you guys are getting, and I hope everybody's being safe. I know that it can be so unpredictable and scary, you know. We've been through some flooding, not necessarily our house, but just the community and the cities that we lived in for like a while. For a few years, a couple of years, I experienced lots of flooding, and it's just scary. So, okay. I really love this bike because I know that Anne rides a bike in, I think, Anna Avonlea. I know in the movie she does. And so I just want to put this on there somehow to where it will stand out. And then this base would be like perfect right there, I think. Because they always have flowers. Most of our flowers are like burnt up, to be honest with you here. It's terrible, but and what I'll do too is after we do this little page and we put it in there, I'll do a quick little flip through of my little journal so far. I wonder if I could put this. I'm not real crazy about that this is like a puffy thing. So I might take the puffiness off. If I can. Somewhat. Might have to staple this down though, because it's that clear plastic. Where's my stapler? So about the movie, we had movie night last night, and the movie I picked out that I recently bought, and I did a little, if you saw it on Instagram, it was called What Katie Did, and it actually had Megan Follows in it from the 2005 movie. And she, it was okay. It was, I don't know if I should give it another chance because I kind of watched it late, but, it was kind of, it was a little slow. I don't know. It had a good storyline to it. Like I said, maybe I should watch it again, but it was just, I don't know. You know, it's kind of a different movie, so to speak. It's not like box office, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, like those roses are way too big, but I wonder if I could do something like, and then just punch holes in it. Kind of making like a little collage page here. My poor chickens, they're so hot too. I thought about, they need, like I turned the water hose on and they like go over there and stand in the water. Well, there was like, and I remember my parents doing this. They had put like misters on for their chickens. And I'm like, my chickens need misters too. Like where the water will spray out and they can go over there and like have a spa day, you know. Or at least like get water on them so they're not so burned up. How's this looking? Is it cute enough? I mean, it kind of like gives out what the summer days are about, right? put a butterfly or two. That's what it needed. Something dark in there because it really is busy. It's very busy if you ask me, right? Because of all the different colors. But then you put the black on there and it kind of like, okay. Maybe I need to outline this in black. It's gonna work. Okay. Okay, how does that look? Let's see. Yeah, it works. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is put a little, I figured with my journal I need a little bit of, I haven't done much trim on the outside, so I thought I would put some trim on this one. I have this lace trim. I'm just gonna, I don't have my hot glue gun on, so I'm just gonna use this liquid glue. And then what we can always come back, sorry my fingers are so, I've been spray painting today. Now that is a, see, that's a positive of summer. You can do all the things that you can't do in winter or when it's raining. Oh, now that really makes it pretty. And I know that glue will dry. That kind of brings it together a little bit, I think. Okay, let's see. Should I put ice cold drinks on here? I wonder if they have ice. Someone was telling me that, well actually I went and got my hair done, and my hairdresser was telling me that one of the ladies recently came back from Italy, and Italy doesn't have ice. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Like they have ice, but they don't offer it. Let me verify that. They have ice. They just don't offer it. And that when she did ask, because she's like, they had a McDonald's, and she's like, oh good, I'm going to get some ice. And they gave her like 5 little cubes. So, you know, I guess being around here, does sound like being around here. No, seriously, I love ice. I drink ice all the time with my water, with my tea, with my whatever I'm drinking. I typically have ice in it. So I think that's kind of interesting. I wonder if they do ice in, I'm sure they have lots of ice. But down in Italy, I would think it would be really hot. I don't know. If you guys know something, tell me. I'm curious minds want to know. I guess I could always Google it, but if you've been, I would be interested to hear about it. Okay, so I did want to include a little bit of one of those stickers on here as a little tab, since we're doing like it is summer. I think of course the blue is in the middle. This is like a border, but we'll just cut that off of there. It's a border sticker, but I'm just going to cut that little tab off. There we go. And probably doing a little staple action would be cute on there. Alright, so let me show you my book so far. We're gonna pop this in for the next months. Like this. Okay, there, we're ready for summer. So, oh, let's do my sticker sheet from Susan Branch. because it's just perfect as well. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. And it's starting to get puffed. I see I need some pom-poms in there, and we'll be doing that soon. So, and I've done this flip through, but I figured I'll do it again. Okay, so we have a name tag, and we have the calendar, and then some randomness that we can actually add, like if we wanted to add some seashells, because, you know, hypothetically, we are talking Prince Edward Island, you know. So again, I mean, anything that inspires you to be, that you find creative or you love, add it. So I have my coffee and donut, and then my random pages that I definitely can fill in. And I actually think I'm going to include the story, a line of how I got introduced to Anne of Green Gables in my book. Cottage Rose Garden, another little secret message, we can do that. We have our spring divider, and then the rainbow. I realized I had mentioned putting things on my blog, so I know that everybody's not on Instagram, so I've been doing a lot of like sped up videos for projects, for these projects. So I'm gonna try to see if there's some way I can embed those into my blog. So keep that in mind. I'm going to be working on that. I am working on orders right now, but I'm going to try to get that in and see if there's a possibility for me to be able to do that. So this was my rainbow, my favorite quote. Well, one of my favorite quotes of the book. Being that it's spring, I had these stickers, and so I just added that little ducky in there because it is reminding me of spring. And this Katie's World is what I colored for our coloring book, coloring page during the movie. And I didn't color during the movie, you guys. I was tired because it was late. But I did color. I popped up a Instagram, you know, feed this morning of me coloring. So I got my coloring page done. But this was also done on a video, sped up video. Again, I'll try to see if I can get that on there. But this is I used acrylic paints and watercolor and painted my little garden. And then this is my little windmill that I made with the little ducky, my little bird. And then this is my coloring page. If you guys missed it, I have this on my blog for movie night. I'll link to that below. Trim this off because it's coming undone. And then this was what movie I watched, and I mentioned in my thing that I like to eat milk with my popcorn. Does anybody else? Is that just weird? I love it. Ever since I was a kid, I would eat it that way. And then this is what we just did. So yeah, so we're going to be filling up our pages with some summer activities. And yeah, it's coming together, you guys. I'm having fun. I hope you are too. And I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.